with our new class, Halachos of other people's money. Right, very interesting. And this session and all of them are going to be dedicated to Rifah Shlema of our dear Rabbi Lerner Shlita. His name is Yaron Ben Doris, and he just had another second, I think, surgery. I think it was successful, Bezras Hashem, so he should get Rifah Shlema. Also Rifah Shlema to Yehudis Bas Noach, Ariela Ora Basana, Yemim Rasi Rachel Bas Brindel, David Shlomo Ben Sandra, David Abraham Ben Chana. And also a quick release of our dear friend Moshe Shmuel Ben Pnina. Okay. So we continue with our new book, Other People's Money. Other People's Money. And it's really interesting topic. So we are on a topic. Our big topic is other forms of stealing. Stealing meaning something that we would not count maybe as a steal. Okay, so and it's broken down in a separate paragraph. So let's do a few paragraphs, and then we're going to go back. Actually, it looks like it's introduction. I apologize. Quickly check. Okay. So let's see. In section A, we discuss the fundamental forms of stealing, taking something from someone else as to when it is prohibited and when it is not. We deal with taking something insignificant, a packet of ketchup, taking something for a joke or for the victim's own benefit, taking something from a minor, from a family member, from Akum, and from an institution, from a government entity, etc. In section B, we learn about the forms of stealing the Torah called oshek, stealing by refusing to pay someone who has loaned his money, or has sold his merchandise, or has performed a service for him or provided him with a rental. In section C, section C deals with the stealing through the use of deception. For example, how owner purchases a phone that becomes defective after the 1-year warranty period expires. His neighbors who worked at the electronics store gave him a fake sales receipts, dates within the year. Using the fake receipts, using the fake receipt, he was able to obtain the free repair. What he did was prohibited. So we actually, I think we covered till the end last time, but without explanation. So I think let's break it in a few parts. So let's do, and quickly just even before we go go into details. So let's see let's see what we can get just from this summary. So again, the major reason people are failing into the pitfall of stealing, writes Chofetz Chaim, is a pervasive lack of knowledge of halachos of stealing. So, and quickly commentate, another major reason that they become dependent on unnecessary high standard of living and become forced to maintain their standard. So, which is very, very fortunate, but that's what it is. So again, Chofetz Chaim said, why people steal? Because they don't know halacha. For example, right? If somebody took, as he said, a packet of ketchup, right? Is it still like, who cares? They have so many. The guy takes the whole bunch. Like they do not care. Not any longer. Not any longer. Now they count everything. So right. So we went to to a Chinese store, right? Chinese food some time ago. After maybe many years of break. Same store, very prominent store next to big yeshiva, across from huge yeshiva. That was one of the most important yeshiva in the world. Very interesting, right? And a long time ago, when we used to pick up, the guy take napkins, boom, take sauces without looking, spoons. Now Everybody's slow down. Everybody try to save. Unless you ask him something, they're not going to give you. You understand? So meaning they trying to save the money as much as they can, right? As much as they can. Of course, they raise the prices, but they try to save money. So meaning to take extra napkin without us asking him would be a problem. For example, the guy he gave you your order and he turned away answering the phone. So you cannot just grab from there, even though like technically, if you ask him, he's going to give you, right? But without his permission, we were not allowed to take, right? So Chafetz Chaim said the main reason is because people have a lack of knowledge, the halachos of stealing, right? And second is people are trying to keep up with this unnecessary high standard of living, and you see, so sometimes we have to go like somewhere like in our town, and you pass neighborhood like where almost all Jews live, and you see some of the mansions, and I'm not sure like how much only taxes. Forget about like how much this house, our taxes like year to year, how much they have to pay. I have no idea. Maybe 30,000, 40,000 just taxes. Right, for all of the property. I'm not talking about taking care of the house. So of course, in order to make this kind of payments, so you have to make money somehow, right? And the people who have all the huge expenses, they always feel under pressure, right? Even though it is absolutely not necessary. That's the thing. In this chapter, we discuss the halachos of stealing in the following format. Okay, so section A, we discuss the fundamental form of stealing, taking something from someone else, meaning right, and we had several clips, short clips about it. So stealing, the definition of stealing: you take something from someone without his permission. Doesn't matter what is it. So maybe for you it's nothing. So if somebody would take of yours, you would not even bother. But for that person is right, is significant. Or is a person is makbid. Makbid meaning he's not going to forgive. Nobody should move his stuff, right? Well, so he put his coat. I don't know. I'm just making it up. Put his coat down on the bench. So he does not want anybody to move his coat, right? For whatever reason, maybe it's very expensive. I don't know. Like, okay, someone else. Okay. So again, we discussed the moment taking something from someone else as to when it is prohibited, when it is not. So, and we will see in some cases when we do a person a favor. So, and like I'm getting this. It's one of the very commonly asked questions. So somebody wants to save the dear ones, right? Not strangers, but dear ones from transgressions. So are they allowed to take something that belonged to other person? They actually destroy it, right? From their houses, from their car, or something in the office, right? Because it's idol worship or for some other things. Okay. Continue. We deal with taking something insignificant, a packet of ketchup, right? So meaning even if person did not pay, for that ketchup, you have a lunch together. For example, a person bought his whatever, right? His lunch, and he has 5 packets of ketchup. Maybe he's not going to use all of them, right? Are you allowed to take one? Taking something for a joke. So I remember in the school, a person got up, a boy got up, and then now somebody took his glasses, his pen, pencil, whatever, his notebook, and then now he comes and he forgot. Did I take from home? Maybe I forgot, and it looks funny, and everybody's laughing. So that's the issue. That's the issue, right? So it is considered to be stealing as according to halacha. Right, for one victim's own benefit, as we said, take a cross from them, right, to break it. Taking something from a minor. So minor, what is the problem with the minor? We discussed minor cannot forgive, right? That's the issue. From a family member. A family member meaning if his wife took something from him, or your husband took something from her, or the child took his chicken cutlet from them, right? Is it stealing or not stealing, or mother actually is very happy that he started eating, actually? He has a good appetite. I don't know. Okay, well, we'll see. From Akum, from a non-Jew, right? Is it allowed? Not allowed? We had many clips that it's absolutely not allowed, and it's actually the worse sin than taken from a Jew. From an institution, so people have this notion that it's from company. You can steal from company. Look, company is represented by people. For example, it's a shareholder company, a public company. So where I worked, it was public company. They actually hired me when back many years ago, Baruch Hashem, when person who started the company decided to sell it, right? And he sold it 100 million. I don't know, maybe not 100. No, I'm making up. I don't know, 10 million. I don't know, a lot, big money back then, huge money. Right, and he sold it, maybe 50 million. I don't know, like a huge, crazy number, right? And he actually retired, and it became a property of the shareholders. But these shareholders are people, so meaning, when person steals something like a cable or something, or a computer, or I don't know, time or something like use the phone unrestricted, for example. Did we have restrictions on our phones? I mean, I don't remember. I don't think so. I mean, right? Okay. Anyway, making some phone call that the company has to pay for, right? So meaning the person said, no, it's company phone. Yeah, it is company phone. So now you steal from other people, from shareholders, because they're their company. Right, and in a sense, I mean, we can stop there, but in a sense, if we say double move from other people, so now the company is not going to perform as well, and as a result, people are going to lose their jobs. Guess what? Well, then that's what I remember. That's what they were trying to make. Always trying to come up with a good report. Good. What does it mean? Good report. Good report meaning good earnings. How you get good earnings? So you cut down the expenses. How you cut down the expenses? The best, the quickest way. Get rid of the people. Right. Very simple. So continue. Section B will learn about a form of stealing that the Torah calls oshek. Right. So stealing, refusing to pay someone who has loaned him money. Right, so now a person has to pay back and say, "Look, I don't have any." Yeah, but and I have this question. I'm not kidding you. So, I never learned this book, but other books we did learn. And person said, "Yeah, I cannot give tzedakah." So, and the person described the situation, difficult financial situation, and then the person said, "I'm not kidding you. I'm not going to be available to next 2 weeks, and I'm not going to learn." I say, "Are you okay? Has for sure maybe surgery." This, no, we're going to vacation, the whole family, and goes to a place Hashem Rechem, where a Jew is better for a Jew to die and not to step there. And sometimes I'm left speechless. Like, you told me you don't have money, that you have to pay to other people, and you asked me, and I personally told you that if you own somebody else's money, so you're not allowed to give tzedakah. You must pay, especially like if it's this loan overdue. So you must pay, even all of this maser that you're willing to pay. You cannot, unless you make arrangement with another person. You have to pay everything, or whatever you say this maser. You separate maser. You have to pay them because it's their money. You cannot give tzedakah from other people's money. Yes, if you make arrangements with them, and you want to pay give away 3%, 5%, there is no problem. Right? If a person understands, yes. But if person insists, you have to pay me even this 3%, 5% more, yeah, so that you must pay. Okay. So sometimes people do not hear what they are saying. They want to be to look righteous, on the one hand, and then in 2 weeks later they contradict themselves. Okay, so if we borrow money, we must pay. Or right, that doesn't matter. That person is poor, person is rich, is absolutely irrelevant. Even if that person, I think in one of the clips, I would not remember the name, but I said that even the person is a terrorist, so a Hamas terrorist, and you owe him money, unless you know for sure that he's going to use this money for sure. You know for sure. There is no doubt in your mind that he's going to use this money to make a bomb, right? So right, or somebody killed Jews, right? He wants to buy a gun or something or grenade to kill the Jews, and right. So if you have doubt. So maybe he's going to feed his children or pay his electric bill. You are obligated to pay him. Right, or rental. So section C deals with the stealing through the use of deception. For example, a homeowner purchased a phone. Right. So okay. So we got the idea. So meaning extending the warranty. So meaning you see Hashem saw what happened, and he wanted to reward you. How he wanted to reward you? For our good teshuva, for our good dealings, right? And he wanted to erase some sins. How? Through money. So meaning your phone broke, and it's going to cost you some amount of money, right? That you have to pay. If you decide not to pay it, right, and do this trick, guess what? Right now the whole the original punishment comes back. So, if phone expired, we had a refrigerator that actually broke. I think it was 1 month or 2 weeks after expiration. I mean, what can you do? You tell them the date. I think it was delivered later. I don't remember what it was, but they say, okay, yes. I mean, we gave all of the information. I mean, you forward them receipts. I think it was 10 days after expiration date, but they say, okay, since this and that, so we have this program, we're going to do exception and we're going to fix it for free, say that it's within the year. I mean, we gave them all of the crucial information, and they decided to do us a favor. You're allowed to accept the favor, right? You're not obligated, to refuse. Okay, so I think it was maybe, as I said, 10 days after the expiration date. Maybe after purchase but delivery, I don't remember. Okay, so continue. Section D. We discuss using another person's item or property without permission when it is considered stealing and when it is permitted. We deal with using the item of the friend who will probably not mind, using the item of the akum, using someone else's property, cutting across his backyard. Somehow I think that we did it, but we're already in it, so let's continue. Using his parking lot, using someone's item to perform a mitzvah, using his tala, sefer, or sukkah, and using an item which will probably not break someone's hanger. Okay, so let's quickly overview. So in section D, person's item of property. So now we're not talking about money, right? We're talking about property. So when it's considered to be stealing and when it's not, stealing and when it is permitted. So stealing meaning that the person would mind, or this item is going to deteriorate. Our person, for example, he wants to take somebody else's car. So we ask him to park car, for example. I'm just making another example, in some places where we live, there's alternate side parking, right, rules. So meaning they have a street cleaning. I think it's a nightmare. Where we live, there is no there is no such thing. But in some areas, like in many religious neighborhoods, right? Because it's so dense. There's so densely populated. They have a street cleaning. In olden days, I mean, until maybe 5 years ago, like twice a week. So meaning twice a week you have to move your car. So unless you have your own garage and your own driveway, it's a curse, right? And like if you need to go somewhere, for example, you need to go on vacation, you have to go to the business trip, right? And it's possible that you want to ask somebody to repark your car, like to move when it's a street cleaning, right? At least a few times, so it's possible. So but if a person is going to take this car and going to go shopping and this and that, it could be problematic, right? So meaning without permission, when it is considered stealing and when it's permitted, right? So meaning if person would not mind that you take this stuff or your stuff. Okay, for example, somebody's broom, right? No problem. We deal with using the item of friend who will probably not mind, right? Using the item of Akko. So not mind the most famous example that Talmud brings is people like when other people do misuse with their items. For example, tefillin or talis. Maybe tefillin is not a good example, but talis for sure. So it's like more universal. So unless I would say depends on who is using talis. So, for example, some people they have long tzitzis, thick and long tzitzis on their talis, and they do not know how to wear talis, and they always on the floor and they step on them. So, for example, and other people they're very makpid. They make sure that the tzitzis always not on the floor. They the talis also clean. When such a person like who is not organized, right? And he would take my talis for somebody else and step on the tzitzit, so I would not mind. I would mind for sure, right? So that's the thing. Okay, so and another example is the book. Some people take the book, and the books I don't know, many times you hear that people pray and the book fell. Like, why would you, I don't know, they put it on a bench this way and that way, and it's going to fall on the floor. In the Torah it rips and breaks, right? So if person like this takes your book and you're taking care of the book, you're always careful, and somebody is like this is like breaking the books, maybe some people would not mind, but some people would mind. Okay, the item of the akum. Okay, so again, as we said, with the akum it could be Hil Hashem, right? They said these Jews. Using somebody's property, cutting across the backyard, right? Across the backyard, and as we said, sometimes you cannot install the fence because it's too expensive. Using his parking lot, right? Many times. They just block a driveway, and that's it. They block a driveway. We have the shul, one of the closest to me. They call it Minyan Factory. Minyan Factory, meaning there is a mincha every 15 minutes. Marif, not Marif, Shachar is, I think, every 40 minutes. Every 40 minutes you have another, from first time available, from Vasikin, and then after that, every 40 minutes you have another thing. So many people who missed their mincha, their mariv, they would come to this shul to pray. And guess what? This is one of the neighborhoods when they have street cleaning. So now Baruch Hashem, it's not 4 times a week, but it's 2 times a week. One day from this side and one day from another side. Right? One time. But still, you have to put your car somewhere, and some people block the driveway. So he said, "What is the problem? It's only mincha. I'm going to be out in 15 minutes. It's too late. Nobody's going to out. You see, all the windows are dark, this and that." And they would rationalize. And guess what? Somebody needs to go somewhere. It's meaning a person is stealing, blocking somebody's driveway. Using someone's item to perform a mitzvah, right? Sefer Talis, we explained, sukkah. So somebody wants to come from, for example, you out, right? You took your kids you took your family to a Halamoid trip somewhere. You went to the mountains, you went to the park, wherever you went. and your neighbor does not have a sukkah for whatever reason, and they decided to use your sukkah. Where's the problem, right? Anyway, you're not there. You're not using. They come with their own tablecloth, and they're going to clean up after themselves. So what exactly are you going to lose? Like nothing. Like all of the crumbs are there, all the plates are there. They're going to collect everything throw to the garbage. So is it allowed or not allowed? Good question. An item which will probably not break, right? Okay. So this sukkah was likely not going to break. Your chair is not going to break, but he is a hanger. Okay. Next one, section E. We discuss halachos related to stealing, such as providing equipment or services which will help someone to steal, purchasing stolen merchandise, pressuring someone to sell. The Torah prohibits the law sahmot, cutting ahead of line, right, and using person guilty stealing as witness, being witness exubas kiddushim marriage. Okay, so quickly just overview and we continue. Discuss related stealing, such as providing equipment or services which will help someone to steal. It's not so clear, like unless you know for sure that a person is planning to steal, that's one thing. But if the same thing it can be used for stealing and for a kosher purposes, so you're not obligated to look at ahead and ask him to do the whole FBI and the investigation of what you're going to use it for, right? Pressure someone to sell. So pressure to someone to sell is a problematic. I think we said before, even if you pay him the full price and person did not want to pay, according to some opinion, the sale is nullified. So if you go to the government, stuff like that, it's all nullified. Cutting ahead the line, right? It's not good. It's right a disrespect of other people, and we see unfortunately some people pretend that the word there, I'm not sure this, and then people usually people live with that they want to cut, sometimes you're driving and they try to cut you or drive very aggressively and then you pass this guy 2 minutes later, what do you gain? I don't know. Are you ahead of me 3 cars ahead? That's what you gain. 10 seconds or 7 seconds. You have to do all of this, but it's in people's psyche. Okay. Stolen pressure. Okay, we cutting on that. Using persons guilty of stealing as a witness. So I'm not sure if they would do it in purpose, or sometimes they do not know. They do not know, right? Or they suspect. So in this case, if you suspect, we have to ask them, right? We have to ask them, and when somebody is getting divorced, we always ask them to double check the witnesses. Or witnesses were kosher. Sometimes witnesses are not kosher. One of them is not kosher. Okay. So meaning this procedure was not kosher. Meaning that it is nullified. Right. It's not nullified. It never took place. So meaning if they had the marriage, right? They have a chuppah, and one of the witnesses was not Shomer Shabbos or was heretic. So meaning that he was not a kosher witness, so they're not married. So children, of course, they're not mamzerim. They're meaning the children out of wedlock. That's it. So of course, it's not allowed to live like this, but after the fact, there is no problem with children. Okay, so the last section deals with the halachos of when and how return the property that was wrongfully taken, right? And we said, what was it in the last class? We said, so we have to follow this person even to Media, meaning even to a different country, right? You have to follow that person to return this article, you and not the shliach. We discussed such an issue as may a person wishing to do teshuva return the money without telling the victim, right? And we brought in the past many examples. So, right, actually, and we said the embarrassment is a part of the teshuva. So meaning the person get embarrassed. So now he or she is going to learn a good lesson not to do it again. So guess what? Otherwise, you would have to face your victim and you have to apologize. And now, especially if they did not know that you stole, and now they're shocked, and now it's in presence of other people, and you're embarrassed and this and that, and you do not know how to bear yourself. And right, so this is actually a good lesson. So it's proper to go through embarrassment, right, for our own cleansing, right. Next one, the items that took as a minor. So we explained that before, right? So now how he has to do the shiur. What should one do if he does not know from whom he stole? And usually, like what we do, or it's actually not only in this case, but in other cases as well. For example, if person stole from someone, and now if he's going to come and tell them that he stole, they're going to put him into prison or something, right? They're going to file the lawsuit or something, right? In this case, yes, it's not a good idea to tell them that you stole, right? Because yes, you have to do the shiur, you have to return the money, but you're not obligated to suffer as a result. So in this case, you donate to some public charity, anonymous, so nobody would give you any credit for that. Okay. So now we're going to the table. Okay, so let's yeah, it's very complicated, complex, not complicated, complex table. So let's see. So, and there are 4 columns. So first, let me read the headings. And it says ordinary stealing, A, ordinary stealing, B, stealing by refusing to pay, C, stealing by capitalizing on the victim's mistake, right? And D, stealing by the borrowing without permission. Okay, so all of these 4 different categories of stealing. Okay, so let's do number A, ordinary stealing. So ordinary stealing is like more logically understood form of stealing. Okay, so first one, worth less than a pruta. So usually our sages say you cannot bring to the court case less than a pruta. So meaning that people would usually they forgive. Somebody stole from you, I don't know, a few napkins. I mean, sometimes you forget and forgive them, but it's still not allowed, right? So are you allowed can you take somebody, let's put it this way, can you take somebody from to a beis din? For example, if you have a pizzeria or a cafe, right, you have tables on the street, is it proper to eat Orthodox people on the street? Absolutely not. Drink coffee? Absolutely not. Okay, that's, but let's say they have this cafe and what is it? They have a napkin holder and somebody walking past, right? Not a patron, like just take a few napkins to clean his nose, for example, right? So can the owner of this establishment take this person to beis din? Most likely not, because they were less than the pruta. But is he going to hold a grudge against this person? Absolutely, yes. And that's what our sages explained. That's the reason why the generation of the flood was destroyed. Yes, one of the reasons because wasting seed, but the fate was sealed after they start doing this, right? So as our sages Medrash explained, somebody would come with nuts to sell nuts on the market, the whole sack of nuts. Right, and each townspeople come and take 2 nuts. So when 2 nuts cost less than a pruta, can you take this person to court? No, but guess what? In 1 hour, 2 hours, that's it. The whole sack is gone. So he does not have money. Right, does not have nuts to sell. Does not have money, and there is nobody to blame. So when people are getting all of these things like how to scheme other people and without not to get caught. So Hashem is very angry. So it looks like in the eyes of these people they get in the way with that. Yes, in this society, in this world, yes, but in the eyes of Hashem, absolutely not. So that's just some idea for us, some perspective how we have to look our life. Okay. Again, our list, ordinary stealing, worth less than a pruta. Again, you cannot take somebody to court for thing less than a pruta. Okay, continue. A practical joke, right? So that would be stealing. So practical joke, meaning he's going to return, maybe tomorrow, maybe 15 minutes, but it does not make any difference. Like this guy is worried, this girl is worried for 15 minutes, and she's very upset, he's very upset, stealing. Next one, for the victim's own benefit. Okay, so that's all like take some bad movie CD or something, right? A DVD and break it. Okay, and throw garbage. Okay, in the emergencies. So meaning that you need something like fast. I don't know. I'm just making up. I don't know. Maybe steal somebody's car. Like actually, the Talmud gives example. Stealing something from a pharmacy, right? From the pharmacy, you cannot pay, but you need it to save your life, right? I don't know what example was it? Right. The example was that a person needs a person had bloodletting. So meaning in olden days that's what people did. Let blood and like to lower blood pressure, this and that. It was seemed to be therapeutic, like would help it. Okay, no problem. So but after that, you like of course after you lost some blood, you need eat more, like drink wine and like red wine, like to restore your level of blood, right? And it was Talmud says that a poor person who does not have money to buy blood, to buy wine, so he can go to the winery or like to wine cellar and take a coin that is out of circulation or like a questionable coin, like damaged or something, and say, okay, can I want to buy wine? You sell wine? You say, yeah, absolutely, my friend. So can I taste? Yeah, a little taste. They pour a little to taste. You say, oh, beautiful wine. Give me the whole jug, and he gives you the coin, and the owner says the coin. Apologize, I cannot accept this coin. Do you have another coin? That's all I have. Okay, sorry, I cannot sell you, but okay, when you get a good money, yeah, okay, thank you very much. Sorry about that. And he goes to the next store and next door and next door. So our sages say actually because for that person it's pikuach nefesh, so he's allowed to do that. So of course, I think like logically this author is going to bring it into his book and see how it's applied, because on one hand this guy is deceiving, he has no intention to buy, right? But on one hand, but on another hand, technically that store owner can take this money, like maybe for less, like exchange rate would be less, but he can take the money. Okay. So it's emergency from a minor, still from a minor. So meaning, right, that they cannot acquire things, right, and they cannot sell things. So meaning with other people, a thief, and at some point, for example, if person gave up on the thing, a thief becomes an owner, but he has to still return money, or he stole wood and made chairs. So now he has to return not shares, but the price of the wood at that point, at the point of stealing. Okay. Continue. So meaning, but it's only available, right? This option available when other persons gives up, but minor cannot give up. So that's the thing, because he is not halachically fit for that. Okay. So next one, from a family member, close friend or spouse. I mean, like meaning the family member that they would not mind. but maybe they're a little upset, right? A little upset. So, okay, response. Next one, from an institution, as we explained, right? So that's the list of ordinary stealing. From a partnership, private or public corporation, from a ACOM, from a government entity, right? So that's the biggest one. Some people think that if it's a government, it's hefker, it's nobody, so you can take whatever you want. It's not true, right? So I mean, if you like for example, if you're in a situation that you have a limited resources and limited income, and you can apply to a program, government program, and you say everything truthful about your income, about your situation, and they decided to give you assistance, there is no problem, right? But if you're like a lie on application, that's the problem. I mean, today I'm not sure how is it possible to lie on application. That's my. I'm not sure. I think everything is in a computer system, so it's easily cross-checked. I think if they have your social security, they have your income, like whatever you report on income tax. I'm not sure how, but of course, I mean, who wants to steal is going to steal. Okay. So and second what is column, meaning second category, stealing by refusing to pay, refusing to repay the loan, meaning again the guy is on and he said I'm not ready yet. Yeah, but you swear by your mother's health that yeah she died. My mother, she was such a tzadikah, but she died. Right. I thought she's alive. You swear by her hands. Yeah, I said so. I love my mother. Let me tell you a story about my mother. Like all of these clowns, right? Refuse to pay for Refuse to pay for the merchandise, right? I mean, some businesses. I mean, meaning they take everything on credit, and they have to pay back when they sell. When they sell, so meaning that's what it is when they sell. But some businesses did not sell yet, this and that, and they actually cheating and they like dragging their feet and all of these things. So of course that's not what we do. Refuse to pay for the merchandise. Okay. Refusing to pay wages. So wages, whether somebody working you're your boss of the company or somebody did some job for you, right? That's a form of stealing, of course. Refusing to pay rent. So rent, especially where we live, it's until hopefully it's going to change very soon. But when Democrats in power, like landlord is always wrong. So if this guy is going to take a picture of the cockroach or like mice and that's it, he said I cannot live. It's unlivable conditions. So I'm not going to pay rent for 6 months. Yeah, if it's unlivable conditions, move out. You said it's unlivable. Yeah, but I'm looking for another place. Okay, he's not looking for any place. He or she does not want to pay rent. Fortunately, some people get away with doing so, but it's only in this world, none in Hashem's court of heaven. Right? Absolutely not. Right? Refuse to pay. Refuse to rent to return a deposit. Right? So whatever is it. Deposit and they want to keep it. So next one, stealing by capitalizing on the victim's mistake. Okay, the first one, using deception to steal. For example, it happens to us few times. So we buy like a seltzer or something on the internet, the same price, and you don't have to carry these heavy boxes. I mean, that sometimes from time to time they have sale on Amazon. Right? You take advantage of the sale. They will sell you like a seltzer, mineral water, like same price as you, like even cheaper than you buy in store, but you don't have to go anywhere. Like they bring to your house, which is amazing. So they sold it, and sometimes it may be heavy, and then they you use the cheaper box, and it was like something was missing out of the whole pack. One can was missing, or two cans, like, and was damaged, something like. So we called them up. right? And then that's the problem. So they say, okay, no problem. We're going to refund you for the whole box. I don't know why we call them, but I say to my family, we're not going to get refund. I mean, these people, since they always only sell it in a box, so they cannot refund you for whatever is missing. For sure, like two cans, I think 2 cans out of I don't know how many in the pack. I don't remember. Like was missing. Why should we pay? Our logic was, why should we pay for something that we did not get? Maybe it was one missing, one damage. But damage was a useful thing, right? So I said, yeah, that's what I told them, and they said we're going to refund for the full pack. I said, please stop it. That's we don't need that. But I think some people would call and say, yeah, it was damaged completely, and they would get refunds for many things, right? So, so I said, please, if you want to give me a partial refund, no problem, we'll accept. But if not, just keep the money, because it's not fair. Using deception to steal from Akum, right? So from deception from steal from a non-Jew. So if a non-Jew made the mistake on their own, so technically you're not allowed to return it, not obligated. But to deceive him or her, absolutely not. All right. Keeping money for next third one. Keeping money or merchandise sent in error. So again, these things, of course, nobody is going to find out. They have so much business in one day. Nobody is going to check you got it or you not got it. So, but yeah, they're not going to check. But Hashem checks. He sees it. Are you still acknowledge that He's exist, or you say they would not check and they would not go after me? So in olden days, I remember in olden days, they would request pictures, right? That they would dress a long time ago. We bought a dresser, and these people with delivery. I mean, of course, it's a heavy thing that they have to bring to your apartment. And while they were bringing to apartment, they crashed. I'm not sure, maybe in that, while they bring up to our apartment, they crash it, or maybe in a truck they crash. I don't remember, but it was big hole in the box, deep, and it was broken. So, when you open up the cardboard, so you see that some this, one of the drawers were broken. So we called them and see, look, the thing is, if you want to send us a drawer, because it looks like it is broken, so there is no problem. And they say, send us pictures. We send them pictures, and they say, we're going to refund you. I say, okay, you're going to refund me, but look, you can send me only one drawer. Why would you refund me for the whole thing? Right? And they said, no, we're going to refund you. That's the company policy. I mean, if that's what they want to do, and you report everything, honestly, you took the right pictures, they said from this angle, that angle, and they asked me why you did not refuse the delivery. So meaning when they bring something and it's damaged, and what is it? You can refuse, they take it back. And these guys, when they came, I think I was not there. So somebody from the family they said looks like damage. So you can so they wrote on the receipt that is damaged, and we had to sign. Somebody from the family, my family, had to sign that is damaged, and that's it. So unless these people did not want to take it back, but basically, just so I understand. So we did not know that we had to refuse. Right, so they did not give this option. No problem. Okay, so that's keeping money. Okay, so keeping money or merchandise sent in error. So, but otherwise, whatever sent in error, so we have to return and right. So next one, section D, stealing by borrowing without permission. When it is prohibited, so as we explained, the person does mind. And the next one, exception, items that no one mind When others borrow, owners always let him borrow it. Items used perform a mitzvah. So I mean, again, so if I know somebody is very careful, very respectful of how he uses the things, yes, absolutely. So maybe there is no problem. But for example, this just past holidays, so I stand next to where Chazan stands, right? And the one Choshev Chazan, like, so I saw him, like, I'm trying to take my glasses off, I don't look, but sometimes, I don't know why. I don't know why I did not have, I did not take it. And I saw what Chazan did. He took his glasses and started wiping into the towels. That's not proper, absolutely. And it's not his towels, it's not. It's Shul's towels. It's absolutely wrong. So if, for example, if I know that somebody like this person, he's not a nice person, he not think about it, right? He needs his glasses to be cleaned, right? That somebody is going to like wipe his glasses into my towels, I don't want to, right? Okay, so and all of these are like four categories on top, and they lead to the next one, E. Section E, a related halachos of stealing. Purchase stolen merchandise. Right. So we're not allowed to purchase stolen merchandise. For example, they say it's new, and it's a brand new, I don't know, like iPhone, and they sell it, I don't know, what is the new price of new? I'm just making up a number, $700, and they sell it for $250, like brand new in the box. So most likely, guess what? It is, it is stolen, most likely. Sometimes, like what we bought a few times for my family, like it's not refurbished but open box. So sometimes it comes without boxes. Sometimes they would use on a display. I mean, sometimes it's little scratches, but who cares? Like they give you the discounts. Of course, it's not going to come with the box. It's not going to come with like a cable. Like some without instruction. Like who cares about this instruction? Who cares about this cable? I mean, they give you good discounts, and we would buy it. So maybe it's used, but lightly used. Somebody would take the phone, like for a few weeks, a few months, and they decided there's new model came out, and they decided to return. I mean, the battery is good, everything is working, right? So, but much cheaper. Okay. So, but right, but they tell you right away, it's not brand new, right? It's not like they say open box. Open box means that maybe somebody used it, but for a short period of time. That's what open box means. Okay. Or it was on display or something. So, but if somebody's like they say like the brand new and for a quarter of the price, that's for sure is a problem. Next one, providing equipment or source to help someone to steal. Right. So you know what the other person is doing, for sure. It's not sure, right? It's something wrong is going. Pressuring someone to sell. Lo sachmod. Okay, so we explain. Stealing but paying for it. So that's a different explanation. So right, stealing, right, as we said, it is a problem. Homos. So even as we said, even a person appraised with a premium, not only like market price, over the market price. So he wants my apartment, for example, he wants it in 2 weeks. So he gives me 2 weeks to move out, for example, Chas v'shalom. Right? I don't want to move. So he said, look, how much is it? 55,000. I'm going to give you 62, right? 60, you cannot sell your apartment for 62. Guess what? Right, they're going to give you 62, but you out. So, but I don't want. Okay, you out or you out without money. Guess what? I'm going to bring my guys and look. Short weights or measures, right? So we discussed it, I think, last time. So meaning person give less than they were that they paid for, and it's very common, very common. When you buy from the foreign countries, so like over internet, but you don't have a close connection. Even if you do, so you pay for like the price they are going to honor, but they're going to give you less. So it's not going to be £1 is like a few ounces less than £1. or they say it's going to be this long, but it's not that long, right? So, which is very problematic. Cutting ahead of line, okay, we said that, right? Problematic. Gazlan may not be a witness. So Gazlan, Gazlan is somebody takes it by the force. Using employer's equipment or for personal need, right? So I don't know, taking cars or where we live, some people they drive back home on a company car, vans or something like a commercial. I mean, they can go shopping on these. They can move equipment. They can move on this. Like if it's professional van, I'm not sure. Like they can. If company agrees, for example, if a company allows them to drive home and keep the car, so next he has to get to work like I don't know, like 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, so they want him to be on time, so they would allow you use the company car. There is no problem. But but that's it. Maybe they allow you. So maybe I will allow you to use for extra miles to go shopping, but that's it. So they do not count for you to have like the car on the weekends and go like to the mountains or something. Okay. Acts that Chazal call gezel. So that's we'll see. And the last section, how to return the stolen property. Okay. So first, return it without telling the victim. So is it allowed, not allowed? We will see. In some situations, as we said, it would be allowed. Still has a stolen item. So meaning if you have a stolen item and it did not change, right? So you have to return this. So you cannot return the money, even the other person agrees to the money. Right, stolen. Right. So, but in some cases, it would be combination of item and money. So, meaning if the item broke a little or something happened, so you return the item and a difference in price. So today's, I think, because many people prefer to replace the thing. So unless it's antique or something, right, they would prefer to replace. So in most of the cases. In many cases, I don't want to say more. In many cases, you would need to repay the money. And the last, victim is not living, meaning they have to return to his heirs, and victim has no right to pardon him. Victim has no right to pardon. So we're going to see this. Okay. So I think. The time is up. Yeah, so let's stop here. And we got up to the section A, ordinary stealing. So all of these things, Bezras Hashem, we should go into details next time. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes break and we continue with other topics. 5 minutes.